Today's episode is going to be great, I think. I saw the title. I couldn't help it. CrunchyRoll just puts the sometimes I try to not look at the title too much before an episode. I like it to reveal it at the point that it wants to reveal the episode title, but sometimes when they're special names, it jumps out at me. Like if it was called like the rising of the stronger hero or something, that's like generic enough that I would be like, oh, I'm just gonna forget about that. And then when it comes up, a strong hero comes up and I go, oh, the rising of the strong hero, that's cool, you know. But when it is just called something like this, which is Deku versus Class A or Class 1A, well, that's gonna draw my attention. Now obviously we kind of expected that was happening this episode anyway, so it's not that big of a surprise, but I still wish that I wish there was a way that I could have those titles be, I don't know, hidden from me just for a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to jump into this episode. I think it's going to be great. We're probably going to see Deku fighting Class A. It's probably going to be a minor-ish fight. Like, they're going to do a little bit of scuffling and stuff, but maybe mostly talking. They're going to be talking with one another. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. But regardless, it's going to be very exciting. Last episode was great. I had some people disagree with some of my assessments of Deku's character. And I disagree with some of the things that other people were saying about what I was saying about it. I understand that Deku respects and trusts respects and loves his teammates, and he knows that they're all very strong. When I was claiming, and you can go back and watch the video for what exactly I was claiming and listen particularly to what I was trying to say. When I was saying that Deku has a bit of an ego right now, I'm not necessarily saying it's like, ego doesn't mean you're a douchebag. Like, I have an ego, I would say. I definitely have an ego of myself, but I also, you know, try to be as good a person as I can to everyone that I meet. Ego doesn't mean you don't like other people. Ego doesn't mean you think other people are bad at what they do. But regardless, I reckon Deku is in a tough place. I think we can all agree he's in a tough place no matter what. So let's go on to episode 23 of MHA, and if you want to watch the full-length reaction, it's on my Patreon account in the description below. There's also exclusive videos and early access over there. But otherwise, just support the video, and let's jump into episode 23 of My Hero Academia Season 6. Here we go.
Because we're worried about you.
Yes, she is. Uraraka's worried.
We had a feeling that's what you were going to say. Let's do this, class!
Right.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Then why are you trying to become a hero in the first place?
This is
All Might was right.
a good comparison.
Meddling when you don't need to is the essence of being a hero.
Yep.
We heard you unlock quirks from users 4 and 6, but not that you started dressing like a villain.
Thank you for coming. Really.
Aw.
6.
He's still Deku in there, you know.
Landmine blast!
Nice. Okay, you can clear. I thought since it was quirk smoke,
Running away.
you wouldn't be able to
now
move
that
it.
you're the all-powerful chosen loner, you think the rest of us are just extras?
You think the rest of us are just extras? That's kind of what I was saying last video.
Koda. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't hurt the birds. Okay, he's just getting out of there. Nice.
Sure looks... Oh, whoa! That makes it way easier.
Zero.
Heartbeat. Whoa!
Yeah, Jiro. Aw.
Midoriya, hold on!
Ah, she's being held.
Wasn't much. You totally saved me.
Oh,
Wow, you came up with the lessons? That's awesome.
so cute.
That was probably nothing to you.
Oh.
But it was more of a relief than you can imagine.
Tail down!
Yeah! Take him down, Tailman.
Seen so at the sports fest?
I'll never forget how you fought on my account.
Yeah.
I want to return the favor. Battered and bruised and running on empty. So let me lend you a hand.
Oh, this is great.
If I go
We're getting all of their
away,
connections.
it's like killing you myself would destroy you. That's why I had to leave.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No! Hear us out. If you don't, then the next time Eri wants candy apples, you don't get to use my food code.
That's fine. Anyone can make them for her. She doesn't.
She needs you. Oh my god, Deku. Whoa. Whoa.
First we
Yeah, I
need
was
to
thinking
find
that's Momo.
and then fight alongside you in the streets.
That's advanced.
But things have changed. Your safety by bringing you home.
A device meant to put me to sleep.
Oh Jesus.
You and me may be totally different in some ways, but you're my friend. I'm doing you a solid even if you don't want it.
I told you.
That's so sweet.
Wrapped in electrical tape.
Whoa.
Courtesy of Yaoyorozu.
That's insane.
Honestly, with a group like this, we could probably even go up against
That's
your
true.
words. Womb.
Wow.
That move was your idea.
Not a bunch of fragile victims. who
Oh,
have to
this is
keep out of
great.
harm's way. Wouldn't
They're
you
all
rather
behind
relax
him.
Instead, you could really use a bath.
Let me do this.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh, he just zoomed out of there.
Break out of Ragnarok.
Broke out of all of that.
That's the power of one for all.
Please.
Oh, is he
For your
crying?
sake and mine. Forget about me.
There was a little whimper in
I
there.
know you're here. Danger sense hasn't activated a single time.
That's true. Wow.
I'm okay. Really, I'm fine.
Deku.
Heaven-piercing ice wall.
Oh!
You're dear to me. So when you're scared, I'll be by your side. When you're in pain, I'll cry with you. You don't have to face anything alone.
Oh my god, Deku vs. Wait, why? If they're showing it now, is there gonna be a bit more of a fight?
Dictator.
Dictator.
Let's
Yep.
check for others.
You there?
Yeah. Hang back.
Yeah, let them handle it.
Let's give these students a moment alone.
Have you considered this might be exactly what All for One was hoping
Man,
for?
it's gonna be
You could
mostly
go after
Bakugo and
UA while we're
Uraraka who
distracted
break
here.
through, I think.
Then instead of abandoning it, come back and fight for it. Let's can't be near me.
Which means now, it's your turn.
Yeah, he knows that Awful One is going full ham on him.
Die. The rest of you can't keep up.
The rest of you can't keep up! That's what I was saying last episode! That's what he thinks of them!
Lay down a beat!
Oh, okay, great job, Mineta.
Your power was cool or impressive or anything like that! The times you were sweating bullets, shaking in your costume.
Yeah, he was scared and
Or
he
you figured
did
out
it
how we could
anyway.
kick some butt. I liked you when you could barely throw a smash.
Oh, he puts him down gently at least.
Let's see. One for all, 45%.
Oh no.
100%! I'm not going to give up.
Yes! Uraraka!
Deku!
What would Bakugo want? A rescue might humiliate him.
Oh god, the Uraraka thing might make me cry.
I've changed.
Oh! Whoa!
Okay, protective coating.
They have a
100%.
rail. Holy shit.
Harder, Dark Shadow. Flash freeze, heat wave.
Oh my god! Oh my god.
We don't want to be protected, so we're not going to give up. on
Yeah.
you. Our place is by your side.
No. Crap, I need to say.
Crap, I need to say.
Says he's the one built for speed.
Oh, Ida! Didn't even know he was in there. Holy shit!
Midoriya. That's why. I'll always be ready
Oh!
to challenge you!
I know.
Oh, Deku's face.
The thing Izuku Midoriya needs most right now.
Is a friend.
We'll run alongside him no matter the
They can literally match his pace. by working together.
Not a chance. Do you forget that my name is Ingenium? It's the essence of being a hero, right?
Oh, Ida. Oh man, it's good to get all of Class A doing stuff. Great explosion, murder, god, dynamite.
Out of strength.
Oh.
Probably should have planned for the landing.
Oh, jeez.
Rushed into harm's way to save his friend from danger.
Yep, and that was you.
Kid was you.
The reason I got impaled is because my body moved on its own. You were quirkless. Obviously way behind me.
Oh my god, this is very honest.
Somehow it
Bakugo.
always felt like you were ahead of me too. I had to reject you so that I could feel superior.
Wow, it's showing all the different forms
I
of
needed to
Bakugo and
win
Deku.
to beat you. Saying this out loud doesn't change a thing, but it's how I feel, Izuku.
Oh wow, that's so honest and the calmest we've ever heard his
For
voice.
everything. You've made the right calls ever since you inherited One for All. Followed the best path, but I can see that you're lost right now.
Yeah.
We'll save you, the refugees at UA, and everyone else.
Yeah.
Anybody out there in need of a hero. I'm sorry for saying that you couldn't keep up.
There we go. There we go.
I know.
Thank you, Deku.
His eyes are open. 13. He's awake.
Good. Hi there.
Whoa!
Midoriya, can you hear me?
That's what 13 looks like!
Most civilians have been
She looks awesome!
The ones left in the streets are anti-hero vigilantes or looters.
I thought she looked a lot older than that.
More and more of them have asked for our protection.
You're just gonna casually reveal 13's face?
They're easy enough to deal with in one swoop.
This big wall is just the tip of the security iceberg.
You're totally gonna geek out when you hear about the system. Said we could even merge with Shigetsu.
Oh, really? Merge with
I
Shiketsu?
want to respect
That'd be fun.
what everyone has done for me.
Oh no. Protesters. Oh, that's gonna make it worse.
Didn't you hear the
Oh
principal's
god.
speech? He said he'd guarantee our safety. So guarantee it. We won't
This
let
does not help.
happen. Someone that's not UA.
Oh.
It's gonna be fine. We can't. You don't have to do this alone. When a hero suffers, who's supposed to protect
Yeah,
them?
that's her entire goal. Are you fucking kidding me? That was 20. Excuse me? What a great episode. I am actually shocked that that was a full 24-minute episode. I'm really shocked. I was genuinely surprised when the credits rolled because I didn't look at the clock once. I didn't even, a lot of the time I have to check my recording to make sure that like I'm staying in frame and to make sure that it's still recording, all of that stuff. It's just something that I sort of have to keep checking just in case something's going wrong. But I normally do it kind of subconsciously. I think I almost never in that episode checked anything with the recording. I didn't check if it was recording. I didn't check like my mic levels. I didn't check if I was framed right. I didn't check how much time I had been recording for because I was so engrossed in that episode. That was so good, but it flew by so quickly. That was a great episode. I gotta be honest, I feel a little vindicated because I think what I was saying last week is exactly the point of this episode, of Deku's sort of arc in this episode. Now, I understand I'm bad sometimes at articulating points like that, and especially when I articulate points that seem like they're going against the grain of what we're supposed to accept about a character. I sometimes try so hard to articulate it that I end up stumbling over my words so much that it doesn't come through properly. But I was saying that, and I said it at the start of this video, that Deku has like a bit of an ego. He thinks he's the only one who needs to suffer for this. He also thinks that he's the only one who can suffer for this situation. So in a way, he kind of thinks he's special. Now, I can say he thinks he's special, and he can also be special. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. But he kind of like, he takes the entire burden on himself. We know that. I think everyone can agree that that's what he does. That's what the show's been continuously saying. But what I was saying is that I think he doesn't believe that the others can also take care of themselves, which is what I meant by his ego. He thinks he has to be the one to save them, because which subconsciously means he thinks that they can't handle it. Now, I only mean the Deku currently, right? I mean, well, the Deku currently then, last episode. I only meant the Deku of last episode didn't think that they could handle themselves. And I feel like that was proven to be true by him saying to them in this episode, you can't keep up with Shigaraki. He just said, you can't keep up, right? So, and that's the thing. They can keep up if they're all working together. Individually, sure. And even if he was right and they couldn't keep up, that's kind of not the point. Because the thing is, Deku is not one to settle for things being as they have been foretold to be, you know? The class A, 1A, theoretically, let's say they couldn't keep up with Shigaraki, and maybe they can't. Let's say theoretically they can't keep up with Shigaraki. That's all on paper. They haven't tried yet. And what we know about Deku from season 4 at the very least, Deku was told by Night Eye, you can't win this. I have a quirk that literally lets me see the future, and I see you losing and dying. You cannot win this. And yet, Deku was like, how about you go fuck yourself, Night Eye? He was like, I don't care. I'm going to try. And then he won. Deku knows that things on paper aren't the same as the way they are in reality. But because of the little bit of ego that he had, and ego isn't necessarily a bad thing. I keep clarifying this because I feel like people are going to think I'm saying like Deku's a bad person, or that Deku is doing the wrong thing necessarily. I don't really think that, but because of that, he thinks that he is the one that is able to change that stuff on paper, and others aren't. Now, luckily, that was the entire point of this episode. Class A rallied behind him and made him change that opinion at least a little bit. He hasn't fully changed yet. He still tried to leave at the end of the episode there, so I want to see kind of how that progresses and if he actually does like stick with them and decide to just go 100% into working together with them. And if he does, that will be wonderful. But I assume now, from hearing everything that they have to say, yeah, he said, I'm sorry I said you couldn't keep up. Because they proved that when they're all working together, they can literally keep up with the inhuman speeds of Deku. Deku we saw against Lady Nagant, he is faster than a bullet. Faster than a sniper bullet. That is how fast Deku is. So, like, he with using all of his power, is able to outpace a bullet and then slingshot himself back to Lady Nagant, basically within a second, you know? And they had to slow it down a lot to show us that, but that's what he can do. So, we know Deku is insanely fast right now with all of this stuff together. And I assume Shigaraki could be that fast as well, using his quirks in the right way. So when he's saying you can't keep up with Shigaraki, he's saying you can't keep up with me. And then they did. And they literally outpaced him just by a little bit, but Ida got in front of him. So that was great. That was a great way to do it because it shows, like, metaphorically and physically that they can keep up with him. I like that all the characters got their own little moments. We saw a lot of flashbacks to old season stuff. As someone who rewatches MHA a lot, they just had to show me a little screenshot of the flashback, and I basically know the entire dialogue of that scene. I've rewatched all of MHA like at least like you know, eight times maybe, like all of it, at least 8 times. So I know the dialogue of these scenes very, very well. So yeah, a lot of the time when they show the flashbacks, like maybe in this reaction I was like talking over the flashbacks or whatever. It's because I know that as soon as they show a character in a location, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a scene where, you know, this is happening because they do this and they say this line. But yeah, I like that they gave them all little moments with Deku and showed like how he's inspired them in different ways. One of my favorite ones was Jiro's, because her one was actually something so minor that I really appreciated. Her one was just, she'd worked really hard on the notebooks for everyone during the festival, and she was giving them out to people, and Deku was like, wow, you spent a lot of time on this, you must be so passionate, that's a great job. And she still remembers him saying that, because that's the thing, in real life sometimes you won't know like what things you say that like really stick with people for a long time. It's a common thing that like a lot of men say, is that they'll like get a compliment and then they'll that compliment will stick with them for years. You know, they'll think like someone will say like, oh, your hair's really nice, you know, and then they'll think about that for the rest of their lives. And it's, you know, a common thing just because of the way gender roles have been built up. A lot of the time men get less compliments than women, because women tend to, and this is obviously a generalization, but this is sort of the way that gender roles have sorted out. Like women often compliment each other, men don't compliment each other, and therefore nobody's complimenting men. The reason I say that is because it sticks with you. I was like sort of told, like my mum at some point in my life said to me and to my family, like, if I think something nice about a person, I like to try to say it to that person, and like it only ever really goes well. And I tried to incorporate that into my life, and I found it is very, very effective. Like if you just, even like a cashier or something, you like someone's hair, you like the way they're you know, you like their shirt, stuff like that, you know, simple compliments, nothing weird or creepy. But no one is gonna get creeped out if you say like, I like your hair, I like your glasses, stuff like that. And so if you like incorporate those into your life, you make people very happy. You put people in a good mood, and sometimes it will facilitate a you know, sort of weave of compliments that eventually will come back around to you, which is nice as well. When people, like when you are looking particularly good in the day, or you're feeling good, or you say something nice, or you say something funny, people compliment you about it because they feel comfortable enough to compliment you about it, because you're complimenting them about stuff as well. So it works for everyone. Everyone's happy in the end. And I really liked that moment because it's something that, you know, Deku might not have even remembered, because it's just Deku being Deku. He's just being nice and saying like, hey, you did a great job. But she was feeling excited about it, and she was feeling, you know, maybe even a little self-conscious about the fact that she put so much work in. We know how Jiro is. We know that she feels self-conscious about her own hobby. And in that time, she was putting a lot of work in. But I think a lot of the time when you're super passionate about something, but you still have a little bit of self-consciousness with it, you will kind of be thinking like, are people gonna think I'm a moron for putting this much time into something so stupid like a performance? You know, that would be in the back of her mind. And then Deku is really impressed by it, and he says, great job, this is amazing, that's awesome, Jiro. And it suddenly makes everything worth it. All of it is incredible, and I love that they put that moment in there. I really love it, because Horikoshi, when he's writing his characters, he writes the scenes and thinks about how every character felt about that scene, which I think is a tough thing to do sometimes, because a lot of the time you'll write a scene and everyone will act in character, but you are looking at the scene through the lens of the main character. Whoever the main character of that scene is. Not necessarily the main character of the series, but whoever the focus of that scene is. Because the purpose of most scenes in a show is for one character to get something out of the conversation that's happening on screen. So it's very easy to only see it through the lens of whatever that character is at the time. But then Horikoshi so often goes back to old conversations and reframes it through the eyes of the other person. And I think that's a really beautiful thing to do. And it really makes the characters all feel alive. So that's so great. We saw 13's fucking face in this episode. I never expected that. I didn't expect we would see her. Also, she looks pretty young. I don't know how old she's supposed to be, but I kind of imagine she was like a 50-year-old woman, you know, like she was like near retirement for a hero, I imagine. I don't know when retirement for a hero is, but I imagine they don't continue because they're like athletes, basically. They're constantly doing physical stuff, so I imagine they can't work much past, you know, being 40 or 50 years old when their bodies are starting to give out. But it's a superhero world, like maybe bodies give out a lot. I mean, Gran Torino, I wonder when he retired, because he can still fight now and he's like, you know, 300 years old. But yeah, I just think it was crazy seeing 13's face. She looked quite young, but she was very cute. I liked it. And I also just like the idea of danger sense not activating at all during this fight, which let him know that like he wasn't ever in danger. Like there's no point where class 1A was going to hurt Deku at all. They were purely trying to just hold him back so that they could talk to him, so that they can convince him of what he needed to do. So yeah, that's all very amazing. I love my girl Uraraka. I love that this is like her crusade, this entire thing. I mean, Class 1A are all working together to do it, but this is all down to Uraraka's goals in life, which is amazing, and that's why they ended the episode with her saying what she was saying. Because, yeah, she is the one who's trying to save the heroes who need saving. Amazing. Amazing. Great episode. I loved it. So that brings an end to episode 23 of season 6. We got 2 more episodes left of the season. I imagine the Japanese season finished today. So if you only watch the subbed version, I hope you can stick with me for these last 2 episodes. Come back to my channel. You get 2 more weeks of MHA if you watch it with me. So please make sure to do that. Come back and join me for these last 2 episodes. If you want to watch the full-length reaction, early access, exclusive videos, all that jazz is on my Patreon account in the description below. Otherwise, if you could just support the video as best you can, liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, all that stuff helps other people find my channel. It helps me be able to continue to do these videos, so please make sure to do that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.